Here's another reason why the NCAA absolutely blows. A Marine named Steven Rhodes, who is 24 years old, he is 6'3", 240 pounds, served this country for 5 years. 5 years. And now he basically called up Middle Tennessee State. They've been playing him at tight end and defensive line Ben. And here's basically why he is now ineligible. From the NCAA, he took part in an intramural league while in the service. He received no money to play in some extremely disorganized games. Excuse me, this is from Yahoo. I don't think the NCAA would ever fess up like this. Man, it was like intramurals for us, he said. There were guys out there anywhere from 18 to 40-something-year-olds. The games were spread out. We once went 6 weeks between games. And now the NCAA is ruling him ineligible. Seems ridiculous. We're going to talk about Johnny Manziel in a moment, but firstly, what do you think about Steven Rhodes being ruled ineligible?
You know, I think that the NCAA eligibility rules, which are easy to mock, are there for a reason. But what the NCAA seems consistency to lack is a
common sense.
a reasonable common sense. They need a common sense judge on those issues, like an extenuating circumstances judge,
yes,
who could hear this case, who could say, look, you're ineligible, you play in these games. They do it, and then you go before a normal person who says, yeah, I hear you, in this case, I'm going to make an exception. Or we're going to suspend you for 2 games, or whatever dumb thing they got to do. But of course he should play.
So let me read you the bylaw, 14.2.31, as I'm sure you know. Student athletes that do not enroll in college within a year of their high school graduation will be charged 1 year of intercollegiate eligibility for every academic year they participate in organized competition. By NCAA standards, Rhodes' recreational league games at the Marine base counted as, quote, organized competition because there were game officials, team uniforms, and the score was kept.
I mean, look, we keep the score, and like, do shirts and skins count as uniforms?
Sure, yeah.
When we played flag football, Steve brought like yellow mesh jerseys and blue mesh jerseys.
Oh, the flags weren't yellow and red?
Well, the flags were, but then also you put on a thing so you could, and they were organized. We sent emails. Show up at the park at 8:30 in the morning on Sunday. And believe me, we kept score. You know why? We're men. That's what we do. We keep score. So,
did it range from 18 to 40-year-olds? I mean, like if I try to be, eligible or anything.
Just think about it the other way around. Like if he thinks that this will actually hurt his eligibility. He's in the Marines, right?
Yeah.
They're playing in
Iraq
or they're playing in some base in Afghanistan.
Some desert.
And they've organized this game, and then they go, what's his name?
Steven Rhodes.
Steve, we got this game. You want to go? He's like, oh man, that's great. I'd love to, guys. I can't play with you in Afghanistan because it might cost me a year at Middle Tennessee State. It's silly. It's just silly.
Incredibly silly.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, by the way, that they should have like a hearings judge officer. I mean, something like that.
And obviously, the rule is not designed to punish people in the military. Obviously, the NCAA has no interest in that. But because of their rigidity, they end up being disrespectful to guys in the military.
Sure.
And obviously, the NCAA doesn't want to do that.
Well, hopefully the NCAA catches wind of all the heat that they're taking. I mean,
they seem so concerned constantly with setting a precedent, which will hurt them in some other case, that they so seldom move off their rigidity.
How so?
Whenever they make cases like this where reasonable people always go, what are you talking about? Of course he could play. They're afraid that, well, if we do this, then it opens up Pandora's box.
Sure.
They're always afraid of the slippery slope, whereas I think if they have this 3-judge panel of normalcy, of normality, then I think it would save them some incredibly embarrassing situations of doing things like suspending guys because they appear in a charity calendar.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all.